Hi, welcome back to Unit 3. This is Section 9, Lesson 1, and the first video for this lesson. This is also the last video for Unit 3. This is Ms. Clemens-Brenton, and in this video we'll look at order of operations with fractions. If you recall, the order of operations is a set of math rules that tells us the order in which math operations should be completed. BEDMAS is the acronym we use to help remember which operations are to be completed first. So as a quick recap, B stands for brackets, E stands for exponents, D stands for division, and M stands for multiplication. Remember that division and multiplication have to be completed in order from left to right. A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. And again, addition and subtraction are completed in order from left to right, whichever comes first. Remember in grade 8, we don't worry about exponents in BEDMAS. Exponents don't become an outcome until grade 9. In this video, you'll be presented with 3 examples. Please feel free to pause the video at the start of each example, try the problem yourself, and then press play to see if you completed the question correctly. So example 1. First, we have to check for brackets. So in this example, I don't see any. Then we have to check for division and multiplication. I do see division, so we complete that first. So I'm going to draw a line here to separate my workings from the problem. So 5 over 6 divided by 1/2. Remember with division, we keep, change, flip. So keep the first fraction, change it to multiplication, and change the second fraction to its reciprocal. So I'm going to cross cancel before I multiply. 2 goes into itself once, and 2 fits into 6 3 times. 5 and 1 can't be reduced. So then I multiply. 5 times 1 is 5, and 3 times 1 is 3. So I bring that back to my question, 5 over 3, and copy everything else down as you see it. So I now have 2/3 plus 5/3. So division and multiplication have been completed. So 2/3 plus 5/3. Remember, when we're adding, we need a common denominator, which we have in this case. So 2 plus 5 is 7, and my denominator stays as 3. That's in simplest form. So 7 over 3. 3 fits into 7 twice, and there's 1 left over. So 1 over 3. And 2 1/3 is my final answer. Example 2. So again, I check for brackets. We don't have any. I look for division and multiplication, and I have a multiplication right here in the middle. So I'm going to draw a line to separate my workings from the question. So 1/5 multiplied by 5/8. So again, for multiplication, we can either multiply our numerators and denominators and then simplify, or cross cancel first. So I'm going to do that. 5 goes into itself once, and into this 5 once. 1 and 8 can't cancel. So 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 times 8 is 8. So I bring that part back to my problem, and everything else gets copied down exactly as I see it. So division and multiplication have been considered. And now I look for any addition and subtraction, and I see one of each, so I complete the first one that I see, because those are completed in order of appearance. So 5 over 6 minus 1 over 8. Remember, when we subtract or add, we have to find the lowest common denominator. So the lowest common denominator for 6 and 8 is 24. Multiply by 4 on this side. Multiply by 3 on this side. So I get 20 over 24. Subtract 3 over 24. And you only subtract your numerators. So 20 minus 3 is 17. You keep your denominator the same. So that's 17 over 24 plus 2 over 3. So that's the only thing that's left. I'm going to bring that back over here where my workings are. So 17 over 24 plus 2 over 3. Again, we're adding, so we need the lowest common denominator. The lowest common denominator for 24 and 3 is 24. So I multiply this side by 8. So I have 17 over 24 plus 16 over 24, and that gives me 33 over 24. 33 and 24 have a common factor of 3, so we can reduce this. So divide by 3, divide by 3. 33 divided by 3 is 11. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So my answer is 11 over 8. 8 goes into 11 once. There's 3 left over out of 8. So 1 3/8 is my final answer. Example number 3. So before I begin this question, I see some numbers here that are whole numbers or mixed numbers. that need to be changed into fractions first. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So 5 will be rewritten as 5 over 1 minus 2 1/5 becomes 11 over 5 plus 2 1/4 becomes 9 over 4 times 2 over 3. So now I see brackets right here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we have 11 over 5 plus 9 over 4. Because we're adding these, we need a common denominator. The lowest common denominator for 5 and 4 is 20. So I'll multiply by 4 here and multiply by 5 on this side. So I get 44 over 20 plus 45 over 20. So when we add, we only add the numerators. So I get 89 over 20. So I'm going to bring that back. So 89 over 20 and copy everything else down exactly as we see it. So brackets are complete. Now I look for division and multiplication. So I do see multiplication. So that's going to be the next step in my problem. 89 over 20 times 2 over 3. So I'm going to use cross cancellation first. So for 2 and 20, 2 fits into both of those. 2 fits into 2 once. 2 fits into 20 10 times. Now I multiply my numbers. So 89 times 1 is 89, and 10 times 3 is 30. I'm going to bring that back to my problem. So I have 89 over 30, and in front of that we have 5 minus 1. So 5 subtract 1 minus 89 over 30. So again, I'm subtracting. I need to find a common denominator. So common denominator between 1 and 30 would be 30. So I'll multiply by 30 on the left-hand side here. I get 150 over 30. Subtract 89 over 30. We only subtract the numerators, and I get 61 over 30. That can't be reduced. That's in lowest terms. So 61 over 30. And that can be rewritten as a mixed number. 30 goes into 61 twice, and there's 1 left over. So 2 and 1 over 30. Please complete the activities for this lesson.